This is problem 13, solving for an unknown with algebra in Mastering Physics Fundamentals. We have a guy trying to throw a baseball over a dorm. There's the conditions. We have two equations and two unknowns. T edge is the time it takes to get to this edge right here. And V initial y is the vertical component of the initial velocity, straight up. There are two unknowns, V initial y and T edge. We have to solve for each, and we have two equations. We should be able to do it. In general, it's a good idea to start with the simpler equation, solve for one of the variables, and then plug it in to the more complicated equation. But here, the second equation is already solved for V initial y. So we can take our expression for V initial y and substitute it in for V initial y in this equation, like this. Here's the whole top equation, and here is V initial y from the second equation. So now we can do a little bit of math. We have 1/2 times minus 10 meters per second squared, and we have 10 meters per second squared times 2. Now we have T edge times T edge. We can combine those terms. Now we have minus 5 meters per second squared, T squared edge, plus 20 meters per second squared, T squared edge. We can combine those two, plus 15 meters per second squared, T edge squared. It's important to keep the units. Dividing both sides by 15 meters per second squared to isolate T edge gives that. The meters cancel, and we have to sort out this 1/seconds in the denominator. And the way to do that is just to multiply the right-hand side by seconds squared times seconds squared. In the denominator, we have seconds squared divided by seconds squared, that's 1. In the numerator, we just have seconds squared. So now we have T squared to the edge is 2015 seconds squared. So now we can take the square root of both sides, and we get the time to the edge, 1.16 seconds. Now we can solve for VIY because we have an expression for VIY in terms of T edge. It was given. We can just substitute that in, and we get 23.1 meters per second. This is the initial speed in the y direction. With the time to the edge and the parameters that were in the figure, you should be able to calculate the minimum initial speed of the baseball and the angle at which it must be thrown to get it over the edge. Get to work.